Welcome back to another episode of the Reason Being podcast. I've noticed that I've been introducing myself. I don't know why, but my name is Karim Barkley, your host, and today we're holding a conversation with Kemar Mowatt, Olympian, World Championship finalist, and now coach of Boston College. Correct, Boston College?
Boston University.
Boston University. My apologies. My apologies. I'll just kind of have a conversation with him to get him life story, his experience, and what he's hoping to leave for the next generation. So, Mr. Mowat, what's going on? How life?
My life is good.
Yeah.
Over here in Massachusetts, coaching here at Boston University, trying to get these kids to a level they've never been before.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be able to produce some Olympians, World Championship qualifiers, and NCAA champions. That's what I've been up to, working hard, taking it day by day.
Yeah. So, how's the new experience? I mean, you've been volunteering at Arkansas for about 2-3 years?
Yeah, I've been volunteering for a while, under the guidance of Boogie Johnson, Chris Johnson, two of the greatest coaches out there. And
Yeah.
so to finally, have my own gig and to develop my own coaching philosophy,
Yeah.
super excited. So far, so good.
All right. I mean, like the Blazer still, as in you kind of take it very professional.
Yeah, man, respect.
Well, let's kind of take it back, to the earlier days, so to speak, the grassroots, as we Jamaican like to call it. I mean, my introduction to you was Stets, but I'm not sure where you want to introduce yourself. But before you even introduce yourself, I'd like to ask the question: who's Kemar Mowatt to Kemar Mowatt?
Honestly, good question. Firstly, I just want to say, humble young man coming from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Straight out of Nain, St. Elizabeth, close to where you have the Alpart bauxite plant.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in a red dirt, just like you with a dream.
Yeah.
And, so happened that, God fulfilled majority of it so far. As I said, humble beginnings, poor parents, but rich inside and,
Yeah.
opportunities come. I would make the best advantage of it. And now we're here.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider your parents not to be poor. Poor is a mindset. They're just broke. Financially, they just never have it. Yeah.
All facts.
Yeah, man. So what was the dream? I'm not sure if your dream was necessarily track and field, but what was your dream before?
The dream was always to be a professional athlete.
Really?
Because growing up, you see Usain Bolt, Asafa Powell, so everybody want to run the 100, the 200. And, it just so happened that, my calling was the 400-meter hurdles. Started out as a sprinter at St.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Technical High School, Stets, and then transitioned to Monroe College, and then we're, further, my running career under Neil Harrison,
Yeah.
who coached at Kingston College, Jamaica College, and now he's back at Stets.
Oh, he's back at States?
Yes.
Didn't even know
Just
that.
got hired at Stets.
Okay. I mean, I can't leave the ground. Cannot leave the ground because
Fair
crowded.
enough.
Kingston too crowded. Honestly, bro, it's a mess there, bro.
Yeah, and they're really good for still like, the rural areas. I get the knowledge and development where, because we have a lot of talent down in the
Yeah.
country. So
Yeah.
actually having really good coaches now, that can
Yeah.
make a huge difference.
No, definitely. I mean, while I was looking into you doing my research, I saw that you did high jump. I don't know if a lot of people know that. You know what I mean? If you remember that point, but how did you even get started in high jump, let alone the hurdles?
Crazy enough, Nain primary and junior high school was where it really, really started out. Fast young man growing up. Then, crazy enough, hit a growth spurt and lost all my speed. So now every time I run, just I run on a bunks. And crazy enough, Coach Ronaldo Walcott
Yeah.
at Stets, he was the one who introduced me to hurdles and to high jump. And a lot of people don't know this. I jumped 205 in high school.
Really?
Right. But, there was no passion there for high jump.
Yeah.
I always believe at heart that I was a runner.
Mhm.
And so, never gave up until that
Finally
actually
get
came
it.
to fruition.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't much information on you, running at States. I'm not sure why that is, but can kind of give us your brief experience at States because I know you kind of made your name mostly at Monroe. So how was
Right.
States for you?
So honestly, coming out of primary school to Stets, was a tough transition because you're going from somewhere where you run just for competition to now there's an
Yeah.
expectation for you to be a training every day. And as a youngster, I never understood what it meant to be an athlete who get up and train every day, and
Yeah.
so personally I didn't like that. So after I got into stats, I never showed back up to practice, and
Yeah.
so there was a gap period from seventh grade to ninth grade. And then I took up back track and field in ninth grade where Ronaldo Walcott taught me how to hurdle. And then, hurdling, it was cool, but I wasn't getting the results that he wanted. So he transitioned me into high jump where there was a lot more potential. And, after that, I decided, from Stutz to Monroe, I needed a change. And
Yeah.
this change was where that transition from high jump to running came under the guidance of Neil Harrison.
Okay.
Funny story,
Yeah.
when I got to Monroe, I got cut off the team
Yeah.
because, what I mean, I wasn't good enough. You had guys like Delano Williams, Snudjay Givens, some
Yeah.
really key names in Champs
Yeah.
history. And so, a rookie like me coming on and, trying my best, I just couldn't make the cut. And I pleaded with Coach Harrison and I was like, Coach, you only have one 400-meter hurdler who was Rashawn Maxwell, who had made a Jamaican team before. I was
Yeah.
like, Coach, all I'm asking for is a shot to prove myself.
Yeah.
And, so after getting cut, he gave me another opportunity and, took that opportunity the first year. I was able to run 54 seconds in the
Yeah.
hurdles. Then second year was able to jump to 52 seconds.
Yeah, that's a big jump, honestly. Especially being like, relatively fresh to the hurdles. Because hurdles is all about rhythm, and rhythm comes with years of experience.
Years of experience, a lot of technical stuff that you have to learn here and there, but hard
Yeah.
work and dedication.
I have a quote from you. I mean, I found your LinkedIn. Honestly, I don't even know why I found your LinkedIn, but it was so nice. It was a nice quote you said. From a walker in high school to an Olympian, never let anyone tell you what you can and can't do. The story is yours to tell, bro. That is one of the best set of words put together, because a lot of people coming into track and field in Jamaica, they are not always on the top. Not everyone is going to be super talented, but you are a walking example. You literally clear hurdles for a living. Like, you've been through the rough and the tough, bro, and to see that you made it out from a walker, and just like I said, to being where you are now, that's amazing, bro. So I kind of just want to congratulate you and give you your flowers for that one. Because when I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's real. That is real, bro.
Yeah, man, definitely appreciate that, my brother. The truth is, like, hard work beats talent every single time if talent don't work hard.
Yeah,
So,
that's
for
true.
me, like, set some goals, write it down. A key thing for me is writing everything down.
Yeah,
Because once you can see it on paper, it's somewhat of like manifestation, right? See it on
yeah,
paper, just work in, day out, consistency. Whether things that go right or wrong,
yeah,
sticking to the plan is a key part of achieving your goals. So,
yeah.
those are some of the values that I hold close to my heart.
And that visual representation is very important.
100%.
But I mean, you said talent, no, hard work beat talent when talent is not working hard. But I mean, when you were going to champs, you were, in my consideration, outside like Russian Clark, who's another exception. You were
Right.
in like the pool of talent. Omar McLeod, the Jail Hides. I think you had the States. I can't remember the States twin. Okil, what's his name? Okil.
In Akeem
Akeem.
Williams and
Yeah,
Marvin Williams.
yeah. Ex Marvin, bro. Marvin was dangerous, bro. Man,
Talented.
bro,
Talented.
short and powerful, bro. Short and powerful. Yeah, man. That was amazing. So how was competition back then for you?
Honestly, for me, going amongst those guys, it was just I knew I was just as good,
Yeah,
but they just had more development. As I told you, I took a break from seventh grade to ninth grade, so I had a lot of
yeah,
catching up to do compared to athletes who were doing it year in year out.
yeah.
So going up against Okeen Williams and Marvin Williams was something that I looked forward to every single time.
Really?
The crazy thing was I was always getting beaten.
Yeah, bro.
But the crazy thing was, it was just the rivalry and, Stets Monroe. And then,
Yeah,
of course, you had the phenom, Jail Hyde.
bro.
So, Jail, special talent, and just going up against guys like those was a pleasure. And,
Yeah,
you know, me and Jail took it to the pro ranks eventually.
yeah. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get that. Was that? That's a good fight. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, did you make any character teams or any
No,
world?
never made a character team, never made a national team, was never considered. Was just
Really
always in the background, just there,
working.
watching the other athletes. But this was something that I always had in my heart to make a Jamaican team. I
Hmm.
just never knew how long it was going to take.
Yeah,
So it was a patience game.
yeah. So did you at least try out, or you just was like,
It just wasn't good enough at the time.
really? Well, I mean, but your last year got fourth at champs. I mean, that's good enough.
Fourth at chance, but you still had Jail Hyde, Okeen Williams, and Marvin Williams.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, I think you did the never mind because you did the double and you also ran like 49 seconds or something in the 400, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so yeah, you're right.
and you have Jail around 49 over hurdles. So
Hurdles,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But what the fuck? What you feel about the rule change that they made with the hurdles? Because I think, yeah,
Honestly, personally, I didn't like it
yeah,
because it kind of erased a part of history
mm,
where you're not able to get back.
yeah,
For example, Jail's times and stuff like that
yeah,
basically get erased from
yeah,
history.
yeah,
So I'm not a fan, if I'm being honest.
yeah. That was, bro. He was dominant as a junior. Not to like go off on a hiatus, but like he was
Yeah,
dominant as a
was
junior.
very dominant, not only in the four hurdles, but the
In the
short
one,
hurdles
yeah,
and the
yeah,
400. Super
yeah,
talented.
yeah. He was the guy, man. But like, let's go back onto the Kemar train. So after Monroe, your last champs, you got fourth in the four hurdles. I think you dropped out in the semifinals in the 400. Yes, correct.
Yes.
Did you run the 4x4 that year for Monroe?
Yeah, around the 4x4. I think my split was 47 or 46.
It's not bad.
So wasn't bad, but
Yeah,
because Coach Harrison had this thing, we knew at Monroe that we was never able to win champs. It was always
yeah,
going to be the KC, it was always going to be the Calabar. So his thing was, we're gonna leave here with something.
yeah,
So every year we went to champs, our goal was to win the 4x4. And I think the year period to that, I can't remember correctly, but I think we had won the 4x4 with Delano Williams, Najee Givens, Angelo Garland, and Keneal Harrison.
yeah,
I think that year we had won the 4x4, but the following year, when I was a team captain, we came up a little bit short
yeah.
because all the top guns were now gone.
Go on.
But the 4x4 for Monroe always hold a special place in our hearts.
Yeah,
As I said, can't win champs. The most we can do is get as close as possible to a win in an
yeah,
individual event.
yeah. Honestly, back then Monroe was the 4x4 team. Honestly, it was like the international team put together. Honestly, the Avengers.
Yeah. Like, the KC, the Jamaica, everybody know that when it come on to the closing the show, Monroe was
Yeah,
always going to be there.
it was. I think it was fear, bro. I think a lot of schools feared Monroe because they have it that Tone School man them the stronger, and
Yeah.
them say no, not Tone School, Country School man them
Just
stronger,
school.
and Tone School man them faster. So, but them fear the strength.
If may be honest, Monroe did have a cool squad. We just never have the numbers
Yeah,
because, I think Delano won the 200.
yeah, 20.3. I think it was.
And then the 100, and then Snudgy was what, second or third?
Yeah,
So, some firehouse, but just
yeah,
not enough numbers to win champs.
yeah, and it will never be that case simply because it's their country.
Yeah, KC and Calabar have it down.
Yeah, them have the money to facilitate it.
Yeah, them
So
have the back, them have, the alums behind them and, the
yeah,
support.
yeah.
Support
So
go a huge way.
yeah. So speaking of alums, who would you consider as your alumni of States or Monroe?
Honestly, I think both hold a special place on my heart because Stets, believe it or not, from an educational background,
Yeah,
I took education at Stets really, really serious because I got 8 subjects, I think 5 1s and then 3 2s.
yeah,
And then Monroe was where I took sports
seriously.
serious.
Okay.
So one was more so of an educational background, and then the next one was more so of a athletic background.
Okay.
More than say 50-50.
Fifth.
So more than consider myself both, Statsman and a
Yeah,
man.
and one Roman. Okay.
Yeah. So I can't, it's hard for me to decide because I get that question all the time.
Yeah.
But it just so happens that whenever I come on the track and field, Monroe happened to get the spotlight.
Yeah. I mean, at the last school, that's kind of what it is. That's how I feel about KC. No offense to KC, but
Yeah,
at my heart, Cubans for life, bro. But KC hold the power. So,
yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
yeah.
But
Facts.
you took your talents from States to Monroe, and then you went to this. I'm not even sure why you went to that school, Texas, in Corpus Christi. How did that even come about? Like,
Crazy enough, was doing some research.
hmm
A few coaches from overseas call and, send out some applications and stuff like that. And the coach at Texas A&M Corpus Christi was a Jamaican coach. Hickel Woolery. He was a discus thrower.
okay,
Come from Westmoreland. Really, really good mentor. Really, very up to this day, me and him have a good relationship just because of.
yeah,
So Hickel had reached out to me, and as a youth, I tried to get out of Jamaica for a better opportunity.
yeah,
It was a no-brainer that once these opportunities started to present themselves, I was going to choose one.
yeah,
Had a few opportunities from UA and UTech, but for me, I wanted to leave Jamaica just because my parents, my mom and sisters were over here in the States. And so when
okay,
Hickel reached out, I did my research into Texas A&M Corpus Christi, saw that it was on an island,
yeah,
saw the beach and surrounded by water, all of that good stuff. The first thought process was that this is similar to Jamaica.
hmm
Island, got a beach, relax, all of that good stuff.
yeah,
Fast forward, go to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Nothing like Jamaica. No disrespect to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Love the university,
yeah,
all of that good stuff. It was on an island, but the water wasn't like Jamaica. The beauty wasn't like Jamaica. But regardless, the opportunity was there. And
yeah.
so, that was how the journey got started.
I mean, at Corpus Christi, I mean, it was you only did 1 year, but you gained a personal best. You ran 51-13. If I think that's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
51-13, first year.
Mhm. And you also made the first rounds of NCAAs. So that right there, from coming fourth in the entire country of Jamaica to come in to making it to the first round in USA's, and everyone knows that NCAAs is hard to make, bro. It's
Very
hard.
difficult.
It's hard, bro. It's hard. Nah, tell no lie. So for make that drop at that school, that's impressive. That was
So, funny
impressive.
story is that, when I just got into Corpus Christi, I wasn't even the best athlete on the team in the 400-meter hurdles. But, the work ethic, Coach Hickel believed that, like once you follow the program,
Hmm.
you're going to improve. And a
Yeah.
scale of how much you improve, that's up to you,
Yeah.
based on the amount of work we put in. Just after race, the PR started going down more and more.
Yeah.
And with that happening, the dream became bigger. Now I
Yeah.
saw myself, as you've said, made the first round.
Yeah.
Now, how further can you get?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no limitations. In this life, you try and make the best of every opportunity.
Yeah.
And so
Definitely.
after making the first round and then, Hickel decided to take another job somewhere else, I was left. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I left them. So
Okay.
now this Jamaican coach who, as a mentor, as a guidance, just coming into the States, now he's leaving to go somewhere else. And now I'm in a system where I have to figure this thing out. So
Yeah.
I decided, all right, I have the school record here. I'm the best athlete here. I need more for myself. And so,
Yeah.
I started applying to the A&Ms, Texas A&Ms, the University of Texas.
Wait. Wait. So wait. Hold on. So you made it to the first round of NCAA's, and you had to apply.
I had to reach out to these coaches.
Wait, what? Why?
Yeah, crazy enough. Reached out, sent about 15 emails to top colleges, asking for
Yeah.
an opportunity. A lot of them reached out, hey, our roster is full. Hey, we don't have any scholarships. Hey, but I just kept on reaching out to the point where Doug Case of Arkansas reached out back, and he's like, hey man, we don't have much scholarships, but we'll see what we could do. Let's see how you do at the preliminary rounds of the NCAA championships.
Okay.
So, went there, PR'd, run 51-1, introduced myself to Coach Case.
Yeah.
He was like, this young man, he's tall, he's lanky, he has a lot
Yeah.
of upside because, he was able to watch the race. He saw that at 300 meters, I was in the lead. 350 was when I got passed up because I just
Just
gassed
didn't have
up.
it. Yeah.
And if you watch all of my races from champs, I would blaze that first 350 meters, and then
Yeah.
whatever happened after that happened.
Mm.
Because never had the proper conditioning, and but the goal is to reach the line first,
Yeah.
so by all means necessary.
Yeah. See, I thought it was more because you had competed with the likes of Omar McLeod. I kind of think that I thought that was the how the connection was made with Arkansas. I didn't know you had to reach out
Nah,
yourself. Really?
honestly, most of my opportunities I've had
Yeah.
to reach out.
Really?
I cannot remember one time in my life where somebody came to me and be like, Mo, I'm gonna present you with this opportunity. I've just not been that fortunate.
Yeah.
So even going to Monroe, I drove up to Monroe, introduced myself to Coach Harrison, and asked him for the opportunity. Same thing with Arkansas, I asked him for the opportunity. But
Yeah.
I would say the key thing is whenever I'm blessed with an opportunity, I make the best use of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if I'm not fully equipped, even if I don't have all the characteristics that, whatever is looking for, or even if I don't have the full capacity to fit the description,
Yeah.
just give me the opportunity. I'm gonna
And
figure it
you
out.
that
I'll be
yeah.
that.
Spoken like a true countryman, bro,
Yeah,
because
man.
man, that's all about the grind and the nitty gritty.
Trust me, brother. As ghetto youths or as youths who not come from you know what I mean, the cream of the crop,
Yeah.
all we need is opportunities.
Yeah.
Because just coming from Jamaica, you have a certain mentality of making it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You grow up, you realize this thing real.
Yeah.
Nobody not gonna look for you and hand you anything. You have to go out there and you have
And
to,
take
you know
it.
what I mean? You have to
Yeah.
take the
You
opportunities
have to
done.
take it, bro. Yeah.
So, as my as a coach Case now from Arkansas decided, say, all right, we're gonna give this youth an opportunity.
Yeah.
And so, them offer them cover majority of expenses. I had to pay for food and housing, which as a youth from Jamaica, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a
bro.
whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Because now I'm coming from somewhere, Corpus Christi, where I had a full scholarship, to
Mhm.
now I don't have a full scholarship. But I wasn't looking at it like that. I was
Yeah.
looking at it from the point of view that now I have an opportunity to make the most of this, regardless that, I'm not benefiting
From
financially from the
yeah.
situation.
I mean, you did benefit a lot because I mean, if we look back, yes, you improved at Corpus Christi, but you're on Arkansas's 4x1 and Arkansas is a SEC school, man. Like something happened. Something happened during that one little year of transition. So how was that first year at Arkansas?
First year was great. Had the likes, as you've said, of Omar McLeod, Jerry and Lawson,
Jeremy
Marquis
was there?
Washington. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Marquis Washington. Now you're coming from a place like Corpus Christi where you have no NCAA finalists to
Yeah.
now you have Olympian
Yeah.
prospects, gold medalists, world champion gold medalists, silver
Bar
medalist prospects,
Barman winners. Because I
Bowerman
think
winners.
yeah,
So
that was
now it's like you go somewhere and you're like, now you're at the bottom again, right?
yeah.
So you have to work your way up just to prove that you belong.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people would look at that as, I'm in a 15 here, so. But for
Yeah.
me, I had to catch up.
Yeah. A whole heap of catch up, honestly.
Whole heap of catching up. So the first year, Matt Clark, our weight room coach, got me into the weight room, link it, me I get stronger in the weight room.
Yeah.
Coach Case program, do the program, then I keep up with the big guns of the
Yeah.
program, the seniors. The respect I grow. Like that
Yeah.
youth have, yeah man, that youth have some potential.
Yeah.
And so now I'm not only looked at as a 400-meter hurdle. Now I'm looked at as a sprinter
Yeah.
because now the youth have speed. Coming from a place now where, okay, you have depth. You can either be a 100-meter runner,
Mhm.
200-meter runner, 400-meter runner, or a
Yeah.
400-meter hurdler. But the love was always at the 400-meter hurdles and never had the best start, so the 100 was out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But as you've said, like I was on that 4x1 that ran 38.46, I think,
Yeah.
which is,
At
back
that
then,
time.
really, really fast.
Yeah. Yeah. That time was
And I think I
fast.
was the anchor leg, and some days run the back stretch. And if you
Yeah.
know anything about a relay, the anchor leg and the back stretch is usually the fastest
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
on that leg.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
now the youth is on pace to run as fast as Jerry and Lawson, who runs 9.9,
Yeah.
Omar, who run 9.9, and you have
Yeah.
him on the back stretch. That says a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no. That was listen, bro. When I look back and I saw the numbers that you had, the time that you had to see that you eventually made it on to Arkansas's team, your first attempt, bro. That was incredible growth, bro. That was incredible growth, bro. Especially that team. It's not even a case where you didn't have a bunch of superstars, just like you said. You had a crazy amount of superstars on that team. And you guys were going, bro,
I remember this
insane.
one day because we had so much athletes
Yeah.
capable of running the 4x1, right? So Coach Case decided to do a runoff,
Mm,
I think it was a flying 120, where he split the 100-meter time.
yeah.
And I had the fastest
Eh,
flying time for that 100-meter, for that 120.
eh.
I think it was 9, 8, 9 or something along that lines.
You did
So
fast, man.
yeah, man, some speed, as I say, some speed in it, but the start wasn't my strongest point as to why I had the fastest flying time because you don't have to
Yeah.
start from, a
Yeah.
stationary position,
Just up and go.
just up and go.
Just up
And
and go.
so, Arkansas was a huge blessing.
Yeah.
As I've always said, everybody that I talk to, I'll
Yeah.
always be grateful for Coach Case and Coach Buck for the
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah.
because, whilst I didn't have an opportunity anywhere else, they actually saw potential and, bought into it.
Yeah.
And they got back on their returns. So, it was a win-win.
Yeah, I mean, it was a winning for them, but in 2017, that was your winning year. I mean, you became Kemar Mowatt the man. You weren't just Kemar Mowatt, you were Kemar Mowatt the man. You
Correct.
had a PR indoor in the 400, outdoor. I think you won the SECs, correct? In the four hurdles. And let me see. Also, you're on the 4x1, and I think you contributed. How many points was it? Contributed 12 points alone by yourself at SECs that year. And to top it off, you carried all that all the way into World Championship, bro. So how did you manage all that? Peak after peak after peak.
Great question. I remember doing an interview with TVJ,
Yeah.
and they mentioned that you had, I think, 47 races for that season,
Mm.
and they were like, how did you manage to carry that all the way through? And I remember vividly saying, it's mind over matter. So once
Yeah.
your mind is there, anything is achievable.
Yeah.
And 2017 was a special year. It was, in an athlete's career, they have that one year
Yes.
that everything seemingly goes right.
Yeah.
The year period to that was the year that I got to Arkansas first year. No, this is my second year in 2017. And did the same thing as a first year, gave full effort. My 400-meter hurdles PR dropped 2 seconds like that.
Yeah.
Wow. And when the first race that I raced and
Yeah.
dipped below 50 point,
Yeah.
that was the beginning of not going back to 50 point. That
Yeah.
year, I think I had basically every race that I ran was a 48.
That was the crossover year.
It was a crossover year.
Yeah.
As people call it, the breakthrough.
The breakthrough year. Yeah.
Did everything right. Just had a really, really good season. Was very consistent, and made it to the World Championships. Not only that, made it to the World Championships finals,
Yeah.
and came fourth, just one
Yeah.
place shy of a medal. That was truly a blessing.
Yeah. I mean, that year was special because um I found out that that was the highest collegiate finish that year at the World Championship. So you were the best collegiate that year, technically.
Man, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that was when I saw that I was like, whoa, that's amazing. So what was, the training like that year for you?
As I said, like the training was just consistent. Crazy enough, not to give away Arkansas's training plans or anything like that, but
Yeah.
I don't think we went over 300 meters that year in practice.
You know what funny? A lot of top athletes say the same thing.
Yeah,
Tell you, bro, I'm not trying to like downplay like a lot of older coaches,
right.
but bro, I'm starting to realize that you don't really need running all them 600, bro.
You don't,
You
you
don't,
don't,
bro. You don't, bro. But
because
continue.
volume is always going to be volume, right?
Yeah.
How you tweak it is dependent on the coach. You don't have for the
Yeah.
600s, you don't have for the 500s. So, for example, you can do broken 250s, add up to 500 meters. All you have
Easy.
to do is manipulate the rest period and the time
Yeah.
for each reps. A lot of coaches, as I said, knowledge is a huge part of it. A lot of them don't have.
Yeah. No.
Or them
Just
think them have the
titles.
knowledge, but in truth and in fact, them really don't understand. So that year, as I said, I just follow Coach Case's plan.
Yeah.
Push myself into the weight room. The weight room with, as I said, Matt Clark, genius in the weight room.
Yeah, I've heard about him.
I
Yeah,
tell
I've heard
people
about
every
him.
time them ask me how, how that this transition, how was it like? What was the difference?
Yeah.
Always I go mention the weight room. The
Yeah.
weight room, personally, I think the weight room was 50% of it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The weight room makes up a lot of ground. It covers a lot of ground. Yeah,
Trust me.
because that's where you build, strength in the muscle and also elasticity in the
Yeah.
muscle, bro. Yeah, you
Muscle
need that
strength, muscle
explosion.
endurance, all of that.
Yeah. No,
And
that's
so, yeah, bro, just hard work and dedication and consistency. And a part of it too is you really have to be a student of the sport.
yeah,
And being a student of the sport, you have to listen to your coaches because them coach athletes before you, them have the experience.
true.
And more than likely, especially at top programs, them want the best for you,
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Because if you win, them win.
Them, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
From
mean,
their motivations might be different
yes,
because them have things in them contracts that them have to hit, whether it be bonuses, team performance, this, that,
uh,
while yours is just your personal goal, wanting to be a professional athlete, wanting to represent your country, all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I mean, a lot of like Jamaicans, they look at overseas as they'll burn you out and whatnot. I mean, how you feel about that?
Honestly, personally, this is
Yeah,
this is this is a personal belief, right?
yeah.
I don't believe in burning out
Same, same.
because just from knowledge and understanding, if you have a strong base in the background season, then that base is supposed to bring you throughout the entirety of the season without burning out,
Yeah,
as people say. Of course, it's important not for running athletes unnecessarily because why you gonna do that? You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
But at the same time, a lot of athletes you have to run them into shape.
yeah, yeah. I was that
And
athlete.
another keynote is that when you give an athlete an athletic scholarship, their job is to perform within the confines of the collegiate athletic season. So if there's 10 meets, the athletes have an obligation to compete at those 10 meets
Yeah.
because that 36,000, that 40,000, that $50,000 scholarship a year
Yeah.
is provided.
It not cheap.
It's not cheap. But the coach are provided with that education,
Yeah.
and if that means your job is for run 10 meets,
Yeah.
then that's your job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So personally, I don't believe in burning out. I just believe that coaches have to be smarter in terms of how they run their athletes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't run them unnecessarily, but I don't believe in burning out.
But all right, side note, do you feel like that happens a lot in high school versus college? Because I mean, a lot of our top athletes in high school don't really matriculate onto the pro circuit.
I think it has a lot to do with guidance. A lot of these athletes, they think that they have people in their corner that wants the best for them. But a lot of the times, these people want the best for themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So a lot of the times, coaches in high school, I won't speak specifically
Yeah.
because, just speak from a general standpoint. They push the athletes way beyond their years.
Yeah.
Meaning you have them in the weight room, do some crazy stuff, or you have them do too much plyometrics, or you have them do too much volume that their body
Yeah.
can't handle. So what happens is you basically burn them.
Yeah.
It's like
CNS.
it's like you have a car, right, and it have like I said, 200,000 miles on it. And you just buy it. You just buy it. You don't have enough money, and you buy a car, older car that
Yeah.
has 200,000 miles on it. You can't expect to drive the car every day from Texas to Arkansas
Yeah.
without expecting it to go
Something.
break down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's a case now where you have a brand new car, right? And you try to take care of the car, and you decide, all right, you just drive it from work and back, like I said, 20 miles. Then you can have an expectation that that car will last you a longer time,
Yeah.
especially if you do the small things, whereas, gas, alignments,
Yeah.
new tires, stuff like that. So if you have an athlete young and you develop them in a stages,
Mm-hmm.
whether that be body weight stuff, and now a couple of years down the line, you start introduce them to strength and conditioning, and
Yeah.
then after that, you mix the strength and conditioning with some plyometrics, then you add
Yeah.
some volume. Now that's more of a strategic step-by-step development of an athlete.
Yeah.
But if you have an athlete and you throw everything on them at once,
Yeah.
forget about it.
Yeah, man, I really talk. I mean, we can hear knowledge in your voice. You sound like a coach. You sound you
As I say,
sound like a coach. Yeah.
experience. I've been around Lennox Graham, Travis Gifford, Chris
Yeah.
Johnson, Boogie Johnson. I've been quiet, just listening, soaking up knowledge year after
Yeah.
year after year,
Yeah.
while thinking about it from a personal standpoint. So
Yeah.
everything usually that I tell my athletes, even here at Boston University, is that I speak from experience.
Yeah.
It's different when a person speak from only theory, but when you speak
Yeah.
from theory and you speak from experience, it makes a huge difference
Yeah.
because it's
No.
no way I talk about.
Yeah. You've lived the life.
You
Yeah.
basically live
You
it.
lived the life. Yeah. I mean, coming off that exceptional year from 2017, we kind of see where a little hiccups happen. Is that kind of what happened? Where you're saying earlier, where there were a lot of miles put on you in 2017, that your 2018 season wasn't as glorious. Or how would you say your 2018 year was?
2018 should have been an upward trajectory of 2017, but unfortunately, that wasn't the
Mm,
case. It wasn't a bad season, but it wasn't a great season from my, perception. It was a case where, the collegiate season was about to start basically immediately after that long world season,
yeah.
right? So, in terms of rest, I don't think I had enough rest from that period season. So, as I've said, it's no fault of myself, and I wouldn't even say it's any fault of the coaches because, as bad as this might sound, my job was to be a collegiate athlete.
Yeah.
Anything outside of that was bonus,
Yeah. Cherry on
right?
top.
So the coaches, time for the collegiate season, time to get back to work.
Yeah.
And so, but I think if I had longer rest, it probably would have been better.
Yeah.
And that year I had a bone bruise from going over some hurdles, which it was hard to train, excruciating pain. So
Yeah.
that made it a little bit tough. But all in all, it was a decent season. It was still consistent in the 48 region, but it
Yeah.
was higher 48, so 48 mids and above.
Yeah.
Whereas I was expected to go faster. I was expected to
Yeah.
go low 48, like 48 1, 48 0, even 47 something.
Yeah.
That was the plan, but it didn't happen.
I mean, you were able to defend your SEC championship, so you're a two-time SEC champion.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I wasn't going to leave without defending that one.
yeah. No,
Was
definitely.
definitely not going to leave without defending.
So why didn't you go pro after your 2017 year?
Almost did. Had met with, a few agents.
Hmm.
A couple of them wanted me to go pro, but my agent now, or my previous agent, Norman Period,
Yeah.
very smart, wise, has a lot of experience in, athletes and athlete development and leadership and, guidance and stuff like that. He told me that, see, your education, super important. That is
Yeah.
something that when track leaves, that will stay. So you can't run forever. When your track and field career finish, you need something to fall back on. And so this is my advice to you. He's a great young man, great talent, all of this good stuff. But I encourage you to go back to school, finish a degree, and then we'll talk after that.
Mm. Big up
And
Beard.
at first, as a youngster, there's money on the table.
Yeah.
You've never seen that much money before.
Yeah.
It's not like a sprinter, pure sprinter money. It's not like a Shakari or Usain
Yeah.
Bolt type. But at the same time, it's way
Money.
more than
Yeah.
you've ever seen,
Yeah.
right? And then people are gonna look upon you and tell you to go back to college. You know what I
Joking.
mean? So in that moment, it took some thought and a few more people like my mom and was like when we thought about it, it was the right thing to do. So we went back.
So what are you studying?
So I studied geology and earth science in college.
Really?
Yeah,
Boy, you come from country for real, man. Jesus,
real
please.
country man.
You couldn't let go to dirt, man.
Yeah,
Jesus, please.
man.
Gosh,
But
man.
crazy thing was, started out with biomedical science, but I was great in physics, great in chemistry, but later found out had no love or passion for biology.
Mm,
Decided to switch majors. Was always good with stuff that had to do with the earth.
yeah.
So it came natural, stuff like that came natural for me. So, geology, geography, anything that has to do with,
Yeah.
that type of stuff came natural. So decided why not, makes my life easier, especially being a student athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. So you didn't go pro 2017. I assume you went pro end of 2018 or beginning of 2019.
It was the beginning of 20. So
Okay.
basically, after finishing up that collegiate period, took a few months just to decide, all right, do I go with Puma or do I go with Adidas? And
Yeah.
Norman, my agent, he was getting the contract together and negotiating between brands and stuff like that. So that process took a few months,
Yeah.
and so started in 2019, beginning of 2019.
So were you pleased with, Adidas versus Puma, or it just was like it was the better decision at the time?
Honestly, I was pleased with it, especially after as you've said, you're naive to the fact because you think coming out of college, getting a professional contract, you're gonna make millions of dollars,
Yeah.
right? In Jamaican dollars, yes, but in
Yeah.
American dollars, no.
Yeah.
And so, contractual agreement was good. in the fact that now I was making a lot more than, say, somebody coming out of college with a college degree.
Yeah.
So that in itself was a good start.
Yeah.
Could it have been more? Definitely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't be ungrateful,
Yeah.
especially, when you've never seen that money before. So it was something to build on. And in the contract, we had, clauses like if you hit a certain time, bonuses. If
Bonuses.
you
Yeah.
make it to a certain championships, bonuses. So, there was ways and means to make more money.
Yeah. So, I mean, with all the success that you've had within your 3 years at Arkansas, you went pro and then you moved to Clemson with Lennox Graham that you mentioned earlier. Why was that move, the move?
So, as much as I ran far as Arkansas was still a collegiate environment. And now, as much as I was just a collegiate athlete, now I'm moving into the pro ranks.
Yeah.
And so I've heard all these great things about Coach Lennox Graham, just from his days at KC to John C.
Yeah.
Summit. Now he's at Clemson University. He's had great success with Daniel Williams,
Yeah.
Leah Nugent.
He had diligent?
Yeah, Leah
I
Nugent
didn't
was
know
over there.
that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I didn't know that.
Jasmine, the 100-meter hurdler for the US, and then can't forget he had a 400-meter hurdler, Karen McMaster, who ran 47. That was one of the main reasons too. What I mean, wanted somebody to push me because I've been stuck in this 48 region for a very long time.
Yeah.
Now, I try to improve, try to get better, and and Coach Graham being Jamaican, him understand the humble beginnings and understand what we're trying to achieve. And, as I say, a great coach, great mentor. So he resonated with what I was trying to get at and, thought this was a um, good mutual agreement.
So, I mean, McMaster, you mentioned that he was kind of like the focal point as to why you changed camps. How were those practice sessions?
So coming from a collegiate background to a professional background, never knew what to expect. But I had to learn real fast. So now, you're basically on your own, no athletic trainers.
Yeah.
No school masseuse, none of
Yeah.
this, none of that, right? So now you have to take it upon yourself to take care of your body, take care of your nutrition, take care of your priorities and, time management and, all of these good things. So going in there and, just, my master role as a professional,
Yeah.
that was good to see. Practices, some days we practice multiple times a day, other days, just a single session. But I had to check myself real quick because at practice sessions, for some reason, I couldn't beat my master not even one time, not even in one rep.
Yeah.
So I'm coming from somewhere where, a collegiate system where, okay, Mowat, you lead the first one. All right, bet.
Yeah.
And then me lead the second one. To a point where now we have repeat 200s and you can't even win one.
Yeah. Fight.
Yeah, fight for win one. So now you're in a environment where it's mental,
Hmm.
it's physical. Because if you got practice every day and you can't win one rep,
Yeah.
you gotta start looking to yourself
Yeah,
a
man.
certain type of way. You just can't beat this person. Them getting in your head
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
So now practice became competition,
Yeah.
which somewhat I like because now, what I mean, after practice, you go home, you meal prep, you recover, you go get your masseuse, you pay for your masseuse,
Yeah.
and, next day you come to practice, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
So first year, I think I only won like 2 reps in practice, not making the story up.
What?
Yeah, man.
Hold on. Two?
2 reps in practice for the whole
No.
year.
No, father.
And given full blown efforts, right? New program transition. Next year, now we're lead reps back and forth. So now I
Yeah.
feel more confident. I feel like I belong. And
Yeah.
so, my master was good. As I said, super talented, super hardworking. As
Yeah.
I say, if you want a rep, you have to work for it.
Yeah, man. It not get easy at all.
Yeah, easy. So, it was a transition. It wasn't easy. Had a few injuries here and there, but overall was a good environment.
Yeah. I mean, you took that and then went to trials in 2019. How was that experience? Because I
It was a
think
good
you're,
experience. No, I
yeah,
think 2019 was the first time that I won the Jamaican
yeah,
trials
yeah, man,
because the first time I remember I got Jamaican trials. You had Roxroy Cato and
legend,
Answer White and all
yeah,
of those
top man,
great senior level athletes.
yeah.
Remember, as a youngster, first year, got there, and I was like, "What the look at money I got, man?" Intimidated, super intimidated, and didn't even make it out of the first round
Mm.
at trials. And then next year, I go back and beat everybody.
Yeah,
And
man.
then, under Coach Graham was able to win the first one, and so it was a building process, not only from a talent perspective, but also from a confident perspective.
I mean, if you take all those beatings in practice from McMaster, you have no choice but to go to trials and win. You know what I
Trust me,
mean?
brother. Trust me.
Yeah, you go through the worst. But I
Trust me.
mean, speaking of worse, COVID year happened. I read somewhere that you were feeling really good. Even Mr. Graham said the same thing. And then, COVID happened. How did you handle that season?
COVID year was a tough year because honestly, I think I was in the shape of my life.
Yeah,
Projected to run 47 seconds. And, that's as a 400-meter hurdler, 48 is cool, but when you hear 47, now this is like the pinnacle. This is like, before War Homer and 45. This was this was the pinnacle. This was a level where, what I mean, like Felix Sanchez and, the
yeah,
Angelos of the Karen Clement,
yeah,
these
man.
high level athletes were able to go there. And
Yeah,
now
man.
your coach, I tell you, say, boy,
You're
Mowatt,
ready.
you're ready. And for not have that opportunity
Yeah,
because of COVID, because of this virus,
yeah.
was very heartbreaking.
So did that, did COVID year affect your contract in any way?
No, Adidas. I would recommend Adidas to anybody if they have the
Mm,
opportunity. Up to this day, Spencer Nell, my boss that I worked with Adidas. Great guy, great manager. He was honestly, I think he's one of the best out there.
yeah,
So, and I don't say these things lightly. Like,
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
If I give somebody their props, they're genuinely great people.
yeah.
I had no cuts in my contract. I don't think I raced that year at all. And everything
Nice.
was still the same. So I got paid for practically just being an Adidas athlete that year, not from
Yeah,
performance.
yeah. Because I know some Puma athletes and Nike athletes, notable Nike names were Michael Norman and Rai Benjamin. They had to go to some one-off meets to compete because it was in their contract. They had to run like 2 or 3 meets, and I saw some Puma athletes do the
Yeah.
same.
As I said, like Spencer over at Adidas is great to work with.
Yeah,
Great guy.
and I'm sure to the Spencers because you have some agents. They just want the title and they don't even understand what the game is. Because honestly, it is a game.
It's a game.
It is
Like
a
I
game.
know, like people with Nike and other shoe brand deals and contracts and stuff, and if they have one body here, that's it for them.
Yeah,
They're
man.
cut and forgotten about, right?
Yeah,
And I always tell people like athletes are human.
yeah,
We too have to survive because the level at which we push our bodies is not normal.
mm-mm.
You know what I mean? A lot of people look at us and be like, I wish me have your life. But the truth is, they don't understand the dedication, the consistency, the hard work, and
Yeah,
the sacrifices that you have to make.
yeah,
Like, remember, my sister had her daughter, and I couldn't even go to the baby shower or this or to a wedding
yeah,
or to, unfortunately, a family funeral or, you know what I mean? Just
yeah.
because of the sacrifices.
Sacrifice. Yeah.
And so when people look on you and say you're fortunate and they just don't understand.
No. They have no clue, bro. Like, even cutting out certain things out of your diet, like, bro, like soda, for example. Bro, I haven't drank soda since like high school, bro, because of the fear that it, like, like something with the carbohydrate is not good for lactic acid, like all these things,
And
like
you,
cake, cookies, like,
right. you yourself as a high level athlete
Yeah,
understand that the least of stuff in your diet or in your routine can throw you
yeah.
off.
Show you right off.
And you know what I mean? Like that's not something that you get back easily. Once
Mm-mm.
your routine is off, then everything
Yeah,
feels out of place.
yeah,
You
for
have to
real.
sleep, eat right, do things at a certain time, and there's a lot that goes into it that
Yeah,
people actually take for granted or just don't know.
yeah. I mean, so, but thankfully, when your routine was thrown off with the COVID year 2020, thanks to Aida Spencer and yourself, the coaches, didn't really mess you up in any way because 2021, you were in Tokyo. Yeah, I mean, you became an Olympian. How was that journey from, Clemson to your track meets to go into the trials to then experiencing, what is now known as, COVID Olympics? How was that for you?
The journey in itself wasn't, all sunshines and rainbows. We had some bumps here and there, but
Yeah,
under the guidance of Coach Lennox Graham, we were able to get to the Olympics, and throughout all of the COVID stuff, was able to get some meets in here and there,
yeah,
practices, and because a lot of universities they
shut down.
shut down. You can't use them
Yeah,
track. You can't use
yeah,
this. You can't do that. So mobile, we all are train on the road, brother, and
yeah, man.
just to make sure so we stay on top of things and get stuff done. So honestly, it wasn't just a me thing, or it was a team effort,
Yeah,
right? So from Coach Graham to my agent Norman Peart to Spencer Nell over at ADIDAS, was a
mhm,
collective effort, right?
yeah,
And so I was in great shape. So going on to Jamaica, it wasn't a case of you're not capable of making the team. It was a case of execution,
yeah,
right? Because to be honest with you, I've been to 3 world championships. But you see that Olympic trials was the hardest trials I've ever been.
yeah. With limited funds, with limited funds.
Because I don't know what it was. 2017 was easy to make the team. 19 was easy to make the team. 2022 was easy to make the team. But for the Olympics, it was the most nervous I've been, and it was just you know what I mean. The goal was just to make the team.
Yeah,
Like winning wasn't even important, because a lot of people don't understand what it means to call yourself an Olympian.
yeah,
You could walk down the street and you could have 1,000 people. And if you ask each of those 1,000 people, are you an Olympian? Are you an Olympian? More than likely, not even one person in that
yeah,
crowd is going to say, yes, I am an
yeah.
Olympian.
Hold some weight, man.
Pull some weight.
Hold some
So,
weight for real, man.
as I say, it was a collective effort, team effort, and, we got it done. So that was the most important thing.
All those road running COVID tests, bro. I hated COVID tests, bro. Like,
It was
bro,
a time,
hated,
brother.
bro.
It was a
Yeah,
time.
bro. Sometimes I see the memories come up on Snapchat. I'm like, bro, I can still feel it.
Brother, even in Tokyo, just mask. You can't get to explore. So it wasn't necessarily even the whole Olympic experience.
Yeah,
It
bro.
was like you was limited to a certain perimeter, right?
Yeah,
And then you had the Chinese army surrounding the bubble.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like, there was no freedom, but at the same time, you know that you're at the highest level trying to represent the country. So, you have to give and take.
yeah, man. I mean, that was, I mean, I'd say the highest. That is the highest of the highest level a track athlete can get, beside getting gold or silver or bronze, any medal, honestly. But
Facts.
then, I mean, you kind of took your game to a next level. Not many track athletes or athletes in general start their own business. I think in May 21, 2022, you started your business, Island Vibes, a food truck in Arkansas. What and how did that came about?
So crazy enough, like since I was in college, I've always wanted to own a Jamaican restaurant. But just like everything else, this was just a dream, right?
Yeah,
I didn't have the asset or the funds or the resources to make this happen. So, when I got this Adidas contract,
Yeah.
As I've said, like it wasn't necessarily like a big contract. When you're not coming from a lot, you know how to make something small become something bigger.
Stretch. Yeah, man.
You know how to make something stretch.
Stretch. Yeah, yeah.
So, one day I just sat down and drew up a plan. And, as I said, putting things on paper, I don't know how much people know how much weight that holds, but
Yeah.
this is something that I've proven that works. Drew the plan down and was like, okay, this, we're going to make this happen. And within a week, I was able to get a truck and, started doing the landscaping for the area, got the
Really?
spot. And
Yeah.
then after that, it was all about getting a chef, which my mom was there, and that made my life a lot easier. And doing the paperwork, my fiance Jade, I was able to help me out here and there. That was how that process got started because I knew I couldn't do track forever, and while
Yeah.
doing track and field, I thought this was a way to make some extra money.
Yeah. So how, all right, I mean, you don't have to give me like a exact figure, but roughly how much did you put into the business before it even became like alive? Just the initial steps.
A lot went into the business. A lot of effort, a lot of manpower, a lot of just knowledge and figure wise, it was definitely over $80,000
US, not
US
JMD.
dollars.
Yeah.
Almost six figures.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. But I mean, it was all worth it because, it extended. It got onto Black Card, which is like, something they use on colleges. You had your own spot on campus. Support from other athletes on campus again.
Right.
It was a successful business in my opinion. I'm not sure how you took it, but my
It was
opinion,
definitely successful. The University of Arkansas gave me a lot of support,
yeah,
athletic department especially, and just neighboring cultured people of cultured background, and
yeah,
and other people as well. They took on to it because in Arkansas we never had anything like that.
yeah,
Nothing Caribbean, nothing Jamaican. So it was basically a monopoly. And
yeah,
so when we started that, it was going great. Business was good, business was booming. I had a lot of workers, so that made my job a lot easier. Now it was just more so of a managerial position that I was operating from. I didn't have to be
okay,
in there as much physically,
yeah,
but from time to time I would stop in to make sure everything was going good. I was training at the same time, so
yeah,
was a lot managing. So the first couple of years it did well. We banked in I think six figures.
nice,
But there was a lot of expenses that came with it too. So when you do the maths, sometimes depends on how you look at it.
yeah,
But overall, it was a good business. In a lot of stages, didn't have as many workers because you don't have as many Jamaicans down that side. And then my mom wasn't feeling too well for a certain amount of times,
yeah,
and doing track and field, everything got a little bit overwhelming. So I
yeah,
didn't have that support. If you realize that a lot of Jamaican restaurants here are family operated,
yeah,
right? And so one of the things that I didn't have was that base that I needed. And so, I had to get workers from here and teach them. You have to teach them the ropes and stuff like
yeah,
that. So, after a while, I was like, I do enjoy this. The money is good, all of this good stuff, but that passion wasn't there.
yeah,
And so that was when I decided that, coaching, something that I love to do is where my calling is. At least
yeah,
that's what, God decided.
yeah,
And so worked with the Razorback teams, were able to win indoor nationals, outdoor nationals, and was, offered this opportunity here at Boston University.
yeah,
And been loving it ever since.
yeah, man. I mean, it's a big step. Congratulations on that, honestly.
Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. So how has the transition been from, student of the game to a professional of the game to a businessman? And I don't forget that you are engaged now. So congratulations on that again to now being a coach at a university. How has that been?
It's been great. I'm not gonna say every step of it has been amazing. Of course, you're gonna have roadblocks here and there,
I mean, you're a hurdler.
stages,
You're a
but
hurdler, man.
but throughout this entire stage, I would
Yeah,
have to say God's been it's been awesome. I've had the support of family members, and I've also had the support of my fiance. I'm soon to be my wife. So you know what I mean, like so. As much as there's been good and there's been highs, there's also been lows. And in the highs, we take those and we celebrate them. And in the
yeah,
lows, we hold the people that we value the most closest to
close.
us, and we push. We're able to push through certain time periods. So overall, I would say it's been a great experience from being a collegiate athlete to a professional athlete to a business owner, and also now a collegiate coach.
Yeah,
And I think the great thing about that is it's a lot of experiences coupled together in one. So
yeah,
now I'm not only able to lead, I'm also able to lead by experience.
yeah.
So now a lot of my athletes, I'm able to encourage them in different aspects of their lives.
Have you ever heard of the word called polymath? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it
You said
correctly.
polymath.
Polymath, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You could expand on that a little.
Yeah, I think I saw your name and I'm gonna check it. I think it's polymath though, but I think it's basic. Let me check it. Yeah, polymath is a person who has a broad range of knowledge across many different subjects and is known for their ability to use the knowledge to solve problems. So that's kind of your life experience, honestly. And I feel like based on how it sounds, you can take that and build Boston College,
Boston University.
Boston University.
Yeah,
My
BU.
apologies. BU. My bad. My bad. Yeah. So how is that going so far?
So far so good. Inherit a great group of student athletes.
Yeah.
Here, the educational aspect of it is taken very, very serious because BU is considered one of the top universities in the U.S. in the United States, and so all of my athletes are very, very smart.
Yeah.
And so with smart student athletes, you get a lot of smart questions.
Yeah.
So you have to be really, really knowledgeable. So you can't just tell a man say, "Yo,
Let's go.
today we have this," or "Go run," or "Why, coach? Why are we doing this?" You know what I mean? Like as I've said, like these are smart kids. You have to know what you're talking about, and so
Yeah.
fortunately for me, I've had a vast amount of experience with some
Yeah.
really, really good coaches and my own knowledge just from reading and understanding stuff over the years. And so it's been a great experience. I'm super excited for the season. Our first meet is actually going to be December 7th.
Is that inter squad?
Yes, that's going to be a home meet. And so a lot of the student athletes, they're going to run some off events, whether it be the 500, the 300, whatever the case is. But in
Yeah.
terms of a development aspect of things, from the weight room, they've been learning new techniques, how to lift properly, how to move the weights, and just the importance of it, and whether it be muscle strength endurance, or just
Yeah.
building the smaller muscles compared to the bigger muscle groups, and just simple stuff like that, and
Grassroots. Grassroots. Grassroots.
just from the track and field aspect of it to where just developing them into better athletes, because as much as Arkansas, we had some Olympian level athletes. Now we have athletes who are not there yet,
Yeah.
but we're developing them to get there.
I mean,
So
sort of like yourself.
sorry to laugh
Honest.
myself.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago we had a team meeting, and I told them, like, when I look at y'all, I see myself. And so, you guys resonate with me a lot. And, just encourage them just to listen and, trust the process, because we have big plans in store for them, and
And it's possible.
um, trust the process. And it's gonna be a good year. As I've said, like, have a few people who I think are NCAA worthy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like piggybacking off what you told your student athletes, is there anything that you would want to tell, upcoming Jamaican athletes or just athletes in general, based on your experience?
Based on my experience, I'll tell them that, never limit yourself to what people think about you
Mm,
or what people think that you should be doing or how people feel about you. Never let how somebody feel about you influence how you feel about yourself
yeah,
because nobody knows who you are. Sometimes not even you know who you are. And
true.
a part of it is to know self comes with experience.
Yeah,
Because sometimes the truth is life is going to throw you in an array of situations. And when you have to get out of those situations, that's how you learn who you are as a person. And so for me, I never knew how strong I was as a person until life circumstances started to hit.
you had to be.
And trust me, you learn, you develop, and I was always a shy person.
Really?
Yeah, I was always a shy person. Wasn't the best talker, always stumbling my words, stutter here and there, and stuff like that. But just exposure and just being put in different situations.
Yeah,
Now you're forced to talk. Now you're forced to do this. Now you're forced to do that, and then after doing it over and over again, you realize, well, this is not such a bad thing.
yeah,
Experience teaches wisdom.
yeah, that's a true statement.
So, I would just tell them like, hey man, just keep doing what you're doing. And your best is good enough.
Yeah,
Don't worry about what the next man decided, but just do your best.
true,
Because
man.
that's all you can do.
True, true. Don't try if it's strain.
Don't try to strain.
As coaches like to say, don't run next man race.
Facts.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, don't run next man race.
So, as Mr. Gain a lot of knowledge over time and experience.
Yeah. Well, Kemar, thanks for sharing your time. Thanks for sharing your wisdom. And just thanks for reasoning us today. I'm Kareem, and this is the reason being. My apologies. Until next time.
All right, definitely appreciate it, bro. Anytime.
Yeah, man, respect, man. And good luck this season. I look out in a BU.
Definitely appreciate it. Be you.
All right,
All
bro.
right, brother. Cool, cool.